Okay, last thing, what we need to do. Yeah, I'll save here. For the happy ending, the last scene. Let's do this. Okay, last time I didn't imagine that. I now have to turn off the lighter. So hiding in here from the boogeyman. Ah, he really didn't see me. Ah, well hit. Ah! Got you, motherfucker.
You're under arrest.
Your wifey's got a good butt on her. Really makes me want to chase after her.
Ah, that's actually not your style, boogeyman. What's wrong? Since when do you have a libido?
Where is she? Where?
Ah, detective. How careless. Trying to take me on in such close quarters.
What even was that?
I hate to say such a rude thing to a detective, but not really.
Ah, okay, that was a taser. My bad.
Dummy.
I thought this was a remote for a shotgun, or I don't know. Ah. Hey, Helena.
Keith, my poor darling.
Oh, question mark, question mark, question mark.
You watched me as I wallowed in the depths of despair. And there you stood, with your back against the edge. Now, it's time that you finally learn. You need pride. You need peace. So go ahead. Take it all. But don't you see? In the end, there will be nothing left of you.
Uh-huh. Okay. If you say so, lady.
Helena?
Okay, now there's supposed to be a tape or something somewhere. But I'm not too sure where. Well, let me check for a sec. Ah, okay, in the passage. Well, then I turn on my lighter again. There will be a note and a tape. Ah, there is the note and the tape. Ah, a scrap of paper and an IC recorder. Something scribbled on the paper. You just want to hear her.
Where is this?
Who there is yelling?
Who are you? What's going on?
Hello, Miss Baring.
Who?
Call me Boogie, ma'am. I'm about to begin a game befitting such a joyful night. I'd appreciate your participation as well. Run from me, miss.
I'm sorry. I don't know what you mean. Where's my husband? Where am I? Why is that man tied up?
So that's either one of the castle's servants or Stevie.
Ah, he's an assistant. He can quickly explain to you how this will all work. If I should catch you, this happens.
Oh, that's the one that is shot. Oh well, at least now we know why he was shot.
Rules now?
Where's my husband?
So maybe Keith wondered about the fact that he was shot and the others were all stabbed and stuff. So maybe because the boogeyman is psyching out Helena now, he behaves according to Helena's fears and not according to what Keith sees, like a psychomaniac enjoying to murder. You know what I mean?
Somewhere you wouldn't know about.
Where's my husband?
He can't save you. He's in my grasp. It's up to me if he lives or dies. Now run, Miss Bayring. The game begins, and I am it.
Dum dum dum.
So, I was on the inside of the cell.
Oh. Ah, rather fascinating thought, Keith. Rather fascinating thought. Okay. I'll be back for the... Oh yeah, that happens. Forgot about that. I'll be back for the actual end then. Okay, so here we are. Everybody's alive. I did everything in the spoiler tags. And now, I suppose I can do everything, or there will be something different. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so this time, David is alive, Sophie's alive. We did everything for the good ending. And I kind of have the feeling this time we need to solve the puzzle with the lock. Yeah, probably. Wait, you know what? Before I fuck this up. Or maybe let's first go look here and see if there's something different. Yeah, no, I get the phone call. Yeah, good, I need to get the flashback. Yeah, okay. So, I'll consult the walkthrough in a second. And then we'll see. Okay, I checked the walkthrough and there... yeah, I can go now through here. That's what I'm supposed to do. An old video camera. It appears to be busted. Got an old video camera. Cupboards, the tableware, a stone oven. There's an old-fashioned notebook on the shelf. Looks like someone's diary. OX. I went searching for the young master, as I hadn't seen him. I soon found him crying in an old cafeteria. He played a prank and been scolded by the master. He said he had me copy Bible passages again. This time it was Adam's genealogy and Noah's Ark. I hate those chapters. I felt sorry for the young master and told him, "You're not alone. There, I hated... you're not alone there. I hated copying scripture too, especially a chapter about the Tower of Babel." He happily responded, "Let's keep this our secret, old man. If Mom and Dad find out, they'll be angry. We'll be the ones who know." The young master put a dial lock on one of the doors. Really? All the riddles in this game were so tough, and then in the end you give me such an obvious clue? I asked him and he said it would be his secret room. Evidently I'm not to enter either. I said I certainly wouldn't be still asked for the code. But he just whispered into my ear, "The coast is what we hate, do you remember?" Now was there such a code? Oh well, I try asking him directly. The master has ordered him not to come over to the side of the mansion as it is, so a secret room is quite absurd. I've written quite a lot about his secret pranks in this diary as well. Once I finish I should hide it away. Next to his secret room, I suppose. So that was rather obvious. Of course, we have to look up the Bible to get the Bible passages he hates and then put them in the dialogue here. But since I looked up the walkthrough, I already knew that. But still, like compared to the sheep stuff or something like this is really, really easy. Gotta say. Not that I'm complaining. I'm just saying. Okie dokie. A magazine from about 10 years ago. From here on, I'm blind again. An old videotape. An old videotape. An empty drink bottle. Oh, well. An old videotape. Okay, well then put in the old video camera. Or take out the video, the tape, of course. Put in the old camera.
At last, I finally got a hold of you. Oh dear, hurt all game of tag's come to a close now. Yes, you can't outrun the scary boogeyman.
You know, people who call themselves something usually aren't what they call
Are
themselves.
you relieved it's over, or are you still scared? Well, madam, do you want to run?
You're an unbelievable idiot.
Say again.
I called you an idiot. You thought I was running because I was scared? You think I'm scared of you? Maybe you've spent too long in your little closet world to understand. You've convinced yourself that women and children are all scared of you. What were you planning once you caught me? Kill me? And then what?
Yeah, give it to him, Helena. He's a cheap-ass idiot.
You'd go to kill Keith, right? You told me you had Keith in your hands. Whether he'd live or die was up to me. I guess that was true. And all this time you've been foolishly chasing after me. You could never kill him.
That is very nice of you.
I'm weak. I can't be as strong as Keith is. But there is something I can do. In all my weakness.
That actually makes sense. Thank you, that actually makes sense. I am... Oh, well. Let's see.
If I can keep your attention away from Keith by running all the time, I'll run to the ends of the earth. You poor, stupid little boogeyman. You really are such a child. You just love bullying anyone weaker than you. Go ahead. Have fun in your little world. Call yourself a villain, a monster. But I'll never let you bring my husband into it. Don't you dare lay your hand on him!
You talk too much, madam.
That's terrible. Let's hurry and look for Helena. She must be nearby.
Keith?
Keith? Keith, what are you doing? We have to hurry. Keith, are you listening?
Are you finally having your breakdown, Keith?
Hey, what are you staring at? Are you asleep? Get a grip! Come on!
I'm awake. David, you look for Helena. She should be near.
Huh? What about you? What are you gonna do?
I'm going to go kill a monster.
One question, Keith. Where did you get the idea from that the boogeyman is not with your dear lady anymore? Do I need to go out now here, or... Oh, we'll see. We'll see. Ah, good, the gates are open. Well then, let's go and meet our maker. Well, the boogeyman meets his maker, who is, I don't know, a small child that had too much free time. For real, I mean, I was scared of a lot of things, but I never thought they would be in my room, you know? Why the heck would they be in my room? I always was afraid that someone would come from outside, but I mean, my room is my room. It's my castle. Nobody can come in. But of course, there are people who try to intrude it.
Wait, Dad,
Oh,
leave the door open and don't turn out the lights in the hall.
Why?
The boogeyman will come.
What kind of guy is this boogeyman?
He has long nails and kidnaps kids. He lives in the closet.
A kidnapper? Well, can't leave a guy like that on the loose. Alright, Dad'll give him a good beating. Hey, Boogie, you in there? What? Hey, let go.
Dad?
Well, at least Keith is a good father.
It was a little tough, but I got him good. No worries, son. Old Boogie won't come for you anymore.
Really?
Or maybe you have provoked him with that now.
I lie. Me and Mom are in the bedroom right there, you know. You still scared? Oh, need your stuffed bunny, do you? Or should I read you a bedtime story? Maybe the ones with the fairies.
No way. I'm not a wuss, Dad. I can sleep by myself.
That's the spirit. Listen, Todd. If the boogeyman comes to get you again, Dad'll beat him up. I'm not gonna let anyone mess with you or Mom.
'Cause you're a police officer?
'Cause I'm Dad. Good night, son.
Wow, the most human thing I have heard from Keith in this game.
Should I leave the light on?
It's okay. I've got you and Mom.
Good night. I love you.
Monsieur de Boogie, I am here to
Don't blame
dance.
it on the sunshine. Don't blame it on the moonlight. Don't blame it on the good times.
Is that a song?
Blame it on the boogie. Have you ever thought about it, detective? Thought you have an enemy?
You are standing behind the pillar, sir.
Who or what it is, you don't even know. Maybe it doesn't even exist. Maybe it's all in your head.
Is that why you are hiding behind pillars?
But you know there's something tormenting you. Always making it so painful. You feel like the whole world's out to make you suffer. Too troublesome to make an enemy of the whole world, right? So, just making one enemy will do. I chose you as my enemy. Have I become yours? Oh well, either way, we're gonna settle this right here.
Alright, let's do this.
Let's end this wonderful game now. Can you beat this final boss and take back your beloved wife? What's so funny?
Boy, you're really having a blast, huh? What's so funny that you can be all smiles all the time? Total opposite of me. I don't remember the last time I laughed. But I guess we were pretty similar after all. In a sense, it was all a lie. You're always grinning ear to ear, but you're scared, aren't you? So you keep running. You can't go head to head with me. You and me are just acting. You're no scary monster, and I'm no paragon of justice.
Honestly, I didn't need a billion hours game to find out that.
Final boss? Huh. A big baddie should be a pretty sly guy, shouldn't they? But taking hostages, always on the run, the only thing you can chase after is girls' rumps. You know, I wasn't planning to do anything with you. As long as the others were safe, I was fine leaving you be. I'd secure your hostages and scram, then just leave you to the local police. Because I'm not chasing you. You just keep running from me. What I'm really chasing after. Sorry, but it ain't you. That's right. It's not you. You're my enemy. Spare me the sleep talk. Why would I make my enemy a dunce who just sneaks away? A coward who hides in the closet and threatens kids. And your enemy? Not me either. You've got a lot more enemies. If you go to the slammer, you're gonna be a real popular guy. I can tell. But this is a great chance. No hostages to get in the way. No one watching. So I can do whatever I like with you.
Doesn't... I don't know, didn't you just say he's not worth it or something?
Detective, criminal, that doesn't matter now. You've done the #1 thing to get on my bad side. You chased after my wife's rump. That alone is enough reason for me to beat you down.
Okay, I guess that makes sense.
Don't you think, Boogie?
Oh, cool.
Can't afford to laugh anymore, can you? Back to your closet, Boogeyman. You don't have what it takes to make it over here.
Alright, en garde, finally. Jesus. Okay, maybe this time he will be a bit tougher. Oh, he is a bit tougher. Also, the music is more dramatic. Ah, shittity shit. Okay. Now I know why he was so easy in the bad ends. Good. Whoa, the pillars are actually kinda bad. But I guess that makes it more difficult, so it's more fun. Ah, shit. And I thought I had him cornered there. Shit, that he takes 30 all the time, that's a bit bad. That's the worst thing about you, Boogeyman, that you damage me so much. Well, I gotta say, you're not the smartest AI on the world. In the world. Oh well. Gotta say, now you should have had me, but you didn't, because you are a sloppy-ass motherfucker. God damn it, how many times did I say motherfucker today? Way too often. I start swearing like a sailor.
Where do you think you're going, Lance?
I'm gonna find them. They've been gone way too long.
Did you forget what Keith said? It'll be a burden on him to move around on our own.
Well, then after all is said and done, we'll tell him we did just what he said. Of course, he might have all gone stone cold by that time.
Don't joke about things like that.
Sounds like a joke to you? We got 2, maybe 3 corpses around here?
What part of don't you get?
Yeah, for real. Lance, shut up.
Stop, you two. Don't fight.
We'll go search together. I'll lead the way. Sophie and Shirley, you hold hands. And Lance, you watch the rear.
To be honest, I would rather let Shirley watch the rear, but okay.
Papa.
You really want to go?
Yes, we'll be alright together. And there's something I'm curious about.
What's that?
This whole incident may just be a great big farce.
What do you mean?
Let's be going.
Ah. Okay, what does Richard now know?
Where are you? Helena?
Oh yeah, I kind of forgot about her, to be honest. You've got a point, David. Oh, is she inside Mary? Oh, she's under Mary. Why didn't you knock earlier? We were there. God damn it, Helena. Oh, you're tied up.
David!
Well, then I forgive you, Helena.
Are you okay?
Helena. Why do I start now with Helena? What is going on with me?
That man knocked me out. I woke up here. I was unconscious the whole time. Keith!
Helena!
Ah, you were unconscious, but now you're running around.
Where are you?
Oh well, maybe when you're in a stupor.
Always on the run, huh? But marijuana addicts can move better than you.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
What's in that big head of yours?
What the fuck? What?
Brendan?
The castle man, okay.
You lose. Detective.
God damn it, Keith, why are you in all the endings so stupid?
You're Brendan? Why? Stop moving around.
Keith, Helena.
So it was probably all just to get people interested in the castle, huh?
We have to stop the bleeding. Lance!
Or he's always inviting new sacrifices for his murder. Well, I don't know. We'll see.
Richard, help me out.
Sophie, find something to tie him with.
Keith!
Got you.
Keith? You...
Helena, when we get home, let's finish our conversation. No more running.
No! Keith, stay with me, please!
Wow. Okay, I'm half dead now. But except for that, I'm okay.
The servants and Stevie. 10 people died all told. I'm sure glad to be alive now. Feeling glad to even have air to breathe.
Listen, don't you say a word about all this. Especially not to your coworkers. If it takes money to shut your yap, I'll pay any price.
Wait, no, wait, let's play to the end, and then I'll try to get everything
Where's that
together.
money coming from?
My own pockets. Listen, you guys can distort the truth all you want, and I won't say a peep. Because that's freedom of the press. But this is different. I've got no tolerance for people pointing and laughing at a wounded friend.
Do I gotta tell you again? I'm not a gossip guy. I hate cops, sure, but I hate gossip too. I won't ask for money, and I won't say a peep, because I'm grateful to the guy. So quit hounding me. But, as an involved party, I've got a right to know what happened there. Just can't wrap my head around it.
Yeah, that's...
I talked to Brendan at dinner. Heard he got tired of the musty old castle and ran to Hollywood. Had a lot of fun in the movie biz. So what was the motive?
Guy's gone silent. Sounds like he convinced you he was a goody two-shoes. But I bet you heard a different story in Hollywood. Now that's the kind of thing your lot should be writing about. Nobody knows people's past, usually. But it's easy to fool you into thinking otherwise with a little acting. And once you know somebody's past, you can lead them by the nose. He tricked you all, and tried to kill you. What a farce. Not sure of the motive yet, but he was pretty systematic about it all. Spent a ton of cash beforehand to check up on all the tour attendees. Even did a background check on me.
On you? Why?
Because I was going to be on that tour.
No wonder I thought he knew me. The hell, so he just researched us?
That's the oldest trick in the book for us. Saying, I know all about you. It makes you superior to the other person, so you can control them. Then they freak out and have to submit. I knew that tactic well.
Yeah, it's really the oldest trick in the book.
Seeing right through people without any tricks. That's what makes a real monster, ain't it? In his case, he just used money and connections to dig up people's past, and played the part of a monster.
But the research wasn't to select candidates, so he just picked randomly. Damn, was he just in it for fun?
Now, my turn to ask questions. What you tell me is the only way I can figure out this incident. Give me anything you got. First, Brendan, or Boogie rather. What kind of man was he?
How should I say it? I suppose he had no emotion. That's how I saw him. He said such terrifying things without a care. He hardly showed any human feelings. He really was like a monster.
Keith told me he was a real jester.
Jester? Absolutely not. I would have much preferred if he were at least a little silly. He was a very disturbing, terrifying man. He was totally calm as he did awful things.
Richard, you seem to have a suspicion he might be Brendan. Why do you think that?
Good question.
When my daughter went missing, and I panicked thinking that man might have taken her, Keith told me something. This was the kind of person who would show corpses as decoration. So if he did take Sophie, he'd show off proof of it, meaning she was still safe. Luckily enough, I didn't see them, but indeed, evidently, there were many dead bodies left around.
There were dead servants that were dead. The one in the sewers was dead long ago. So obviously that is kinda like Brandon, of course. But to be honest, at this point, I didn't really believe that the boogeyman is a real person anymore. So I guess that's why I didn't get it.
As Keith said, my daughter hadn't fallen into his grasp. He was correct in his assumption. That made me realize something unusual about what he'd said. Keith said he saw the moment Brendan's neck snapped, and his corpse was quickly dropped into the basement. Isn't that odd? Why did he quickly put Brendan's corpse out of sight? Why did he treat him differently from the other victims?
True, that is also a good point. Thank you, Richard.
Because he didn't want you investigating it. He's got some keen insight, I'll give him that. So you suspected this was a farce plotted by Brendan?
No, well, I suggested that since Keith hadn't checked the corpse, he might still be alive. I only wanted to believe there was a chance he was alive. I had no conviction about the rest, so I didn't speak about it to Keith. I wouldn't dare risk throwing him off with my amateur opinion, not to mention we didn't know whether his wife was safe.
Apparently, Keith saw the moment Brendan's head came off, actually.
Was it a doll?
Right you are. Packed with neat little blood packs, it seems. Brendan was hung upside down and had his mouth taped up, and it was dark enough to be hard to tell who's who. Just dressing him up the same way made Keith assume it was him.
Okay, now I got the idea. Do we have to talk more?
Rave lights. He dropped the corpse down below, so it was impossible to check it closer.
Yeah, it's not like we already said that 3 times or
And
something.
since Keith saw the tour conductor killed right after that, of course, he'd think Brendan was killed too.
If I'd said something, maybe this could have been resolved sooner, but I was paralyzed with fear. I was only worried about my daughter, even when Keith was running all over the place for us.
Don't worry about it. Keith did all that because he wanted to. That's all. He's deeply glad you're all safe. Now, little lady, can we hear from you too?
Hear what?
Anything. What you thought. What you noticed.
Well, I knew he was a fake, because I've met the real boogeyman.
Sophie, stop it. Not this tale again.
Wait a minute. So was the boogeyman...
Fine, if you say so, Papa. Guess I'm not saying a word.
Go ahead, please. Meeting the real boogeyman sounds pretty juicy. Can you tell me more?
Maybe not really met. He just touched my shoulder. But his hand was cold as ice. Right away, I knew it wasn't human.
That was why that one was so different. Okay. I can dig that.
Human, though. They had warmth, so I knew he was just a regular guy.
Huh. So boogeyman's hands are cold, eh? Tell that to my little squirts. Anything else you noticed?
I feel like he might get angry if I say this.
I won't. Tell me.
That guy had this cold and emotionless air. Like you couldn't tell what he was thinking at all. It reminded me of Mr. Keith. A little.
You still think that way now?
Yeah.
Not even. Because Mr. Keith got really mad at me. He was like,
"Don't worry your papa ever again."
No, I still... Who asks me?
Red paint? On his face? It was nothing like that. It was all red from blood spurts, though.
Really? Keith told me he had a weird paint on a torn paper bag. And one more thing. Did you see any red graffiti in the castle? Or any monsters? Hear any phones ringing?
No, I didn't.
Mr. Hoover, you're colorblind, if I recall. Maybe you just couldn't see the paint.
Yeah, but it's white and pink I get mixed up. I can see red just fine.
Oh, cool, that exists.
Well,
Oh, well, not cool, but that exists.
I saw quite a bit of the castle, but none of that. Did you hear that from the others?
Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
I don't think you're lying. The others said they saw nothing too. But then, that makes Keith the one talking nonsense.
Okay, I can dig that. I can dig that.
I don't think Keith is necessarily lying.
What do you mean?
Because people don't always see the same things you do.
Thanks for the assistance, you two. Sorry about calling you in 2 weeks after the fact.
Is not everything settled yet?
The police there are in the middle of their investigation. My role is just to assist. I'm gonna report your testimonies to them, and that's that. I'll be off now. Eric, take them to the entrance.
When our son died, I thought my own life was over too. I could think about anything. Nothing had any taste. But tears would suddenly come anyway. I don't remember anything about what I did back then. But I do remember one thing. That Keith was always at my side. When I wailed and shouted, he'd hug me, stroke my hair, say it was okay.
Wait a minute, was that cutscene different in the good ending version? And I skipped that? Maybe it was, I don't know. Probably, if she says something like that.
Eventually, I adjusted to life without our son. I found I could laugh again. But when I got my own emotions back, I realized Keith had stopped laughing. I had been broken, and so had Keith. Over time, I was able to heal, but he didn't. He was still stuck in the moment of Todd's death. He was always supporting me, so he never faced up to himself. I struggled to be at least a little stronger. Next time, I would protect him, since I wanted him to laugh again. But I couldn't. I couldn't repay anything to Keith. And I realized I was a burden on him that would keep him from ever walking again.
Well, lady, now you saved him, so it's all good.
So, even if we're far apart, as long as he can laugh again, then that's the best choice I can make.
My wife always brings me warm milk before I go to bed. And last Father's Day, my little squirt tried cooking me a meal. I definitely don't need milk to get to sleep. And the kids cooking, I'll be blunt, it ain't good. But I'm glad for it. Usefulness and collateral don't mean a thing with this stuff. Keith didn't stay close to you expecting something in return. That's just what he wanted to do. You guys have got too much sympathy. You don't mind getting hurt for the sake of the other. But can't you notice that one of you being hurt hurts the other? You've just been getting more and more wounded as you go along. You're propping Keith up too, Helena. He can fight day after day, because he knows you're waiting at home, as much as I tease him about it. Don't think of yourself as baggage. Depend on him as much as you need. That's what he wants too.
Uh-huh.
Keith grabbed my hand and smiled, even though he was stabbed and wounded.
And what'd he say?
Got you.
Because he finally got what makes him happiest.
Maybe.
But, man, too much discrepancy between your guys' testimonies and Keith's. Just how am I gonna report this to their department? Hey, Helena, he went back home from the hospital today, right? Can I come talk with him now?
God damn it. Can we finally get to the point?
I'm sorry. Before he goes back home, there's a place he's going to visit. And I'm planning to head there myself.
France? Or the grave of your child? The grave of your child. I would have liked France better, to be honest.
Keith.
I've always wanted to cry like this. I never forgot about him. Not for a single day. Ever since he died, I was scared. I felt like even the slightest sign of weakness would make it all crumble. I acted like I felt nothing, like nothing disturbed me. I thought then I might be able to fool everyone. It was so stupid. I was broken a long time ago. It was all garbage, but I acted like a champion of justice. It always felt off. Whoever I was working for, I never felt repaid. I saw you were safe, and you came up to me. Finally, I felt happy again. Acting strong just made me weak. It was pointless. Todd would never forgive his father staying broken forever, because I promised I'd protect his mom.
Where was I when you did that? Oh well.
Take off the blindfold. I'm gonna laugh, even if it's at a stupid TV show. If I'm pissed, I'll get mad. And if I'm sad, I'll cry. First, I guess there'll have to be counseling. There's something seriously wrong with my head, seems like. It's gonna be a busy time.
Good idea. I'm all for that.
It's gonna be so busy. I won't be able to do it alone. Helena, I don't think I can deal with just being a good loser. I want a chance. Let me chase after you. Let me get down on my knees. You're the only one I want waiting for me.
There's no need for a chance. Didn't I tell you? Divorce. Or decide. I've decided. Haven't you too?
Well, you also can decide for divorce, but okay.
We only ever have one umbrella, so we hold it together. And it's fine if we get a little wet, because it'll soon be sunny again.
That's all. Everything left in the dark. Well, okay. I'll just let the credits roll, and afterwards we'll talk, because Uri especially asked for showing the credits, so I'll shut up now. And okay. Congratulations on beating the Boogeyman, and thank you for playing this game. Thank you for making it, even though I complained all the time. Additionally, so if you played the two previous games in the series. This game was fully voiced with the help of voice actors. Due to the author's fatigue, there's no bonus scenario, but I did receive comments from each of the actors, so take the upper door if you're interested. The Whatever Man series has come to a turning point. The general storyline will end in the next game. That might be a good thing. I have plans for series and silly extra chapters afterward, so please play those if you're interested. No, that sounds rather interesting though. Lastly, once more, congratulations on beating the game, and thank you for playing. Okay, I'll make a save on something unimportant. I don't know who's unimportant anymore. Okay. Oh, cool. I saw you. Yeah. So, we'll do an extra episode for this bonus stuff here, I guess. And then we read all the comments and stuff like that. So, my opinion of the game. And from here on, I started an endless ramble about the game. So I decided I'll make a short, well, probably not short, but at least an on-point review. But before you listen to me, I have a request. Please check out the interview Uri made with the voice actor of Lance. I have a link to that in the description below. Please read that first, because I will also talk about this in this review. First of all, Uri states that her intention going into making the game was to make this game B-movie-like. So the thing that really made me angry, basically, that this game was so much like a B-movie. Now, I personally, I don't understand why you would do that, you know? Why would you make a game like a B-movie? Is that a comedic approach? I don't personally get. I didn't find that enjoyable in the least. Maybe if you're a fan of B-movies, I mean, of course, they also exist and they have their fan base. But is it just me, or is that a strange approach from the beginning? She then stated that it didn't turn out like a B-movie though, but more like a play, you know, a theater play. And personally, I can kind of see where she's coming from there. But she said that the viewer may view Keith as a kind of tragic comedic, like a clown on a stage. And you know, a clown is always tragically comedic because, you know, bad stuff happens to him and people laugh about it. So it's a tragic comedy figure. That we may perceive Keith as a comedy, that he doesn't just hunt down the boogeyman and, I don't know, takes him out because he hurt his wife or anything, but he's rather just saving the people and instead of going after the boogeyman. So apparently, Uri's opinion is that making Keith kind of stupid is a comedic approach. And first of all, I want to say I didn't find it funny. Man, that is maybe just me, you know? Like, that is maybe just me. Humor is, everybody has a different kind of humor. So that might just be me. But it also doesn't make sense because it's still game logic, you know? Billions, millions, I don't know, billion, million, trillion games have stuff like this. That is game logic. You accept that. Yeah, you may complain, but you didn't perceive it as humor. That may be perhaps a bit different in movies. I don't actually want to go too deep into that argumentation. But in games, when you can't do something, when you can't catch the bad guy or something, you just say, well, okay, that's the game's, that's the way the game goes. And after a time, when that happens all the time, it gets annoying. And it's kind of stupid. And personally, that is not viewing it comedic, that is viewing stupid stuff. My personal opinion. She then goes on saying that the boogeyman is a stage prop prepared by the author. Because the boogeyman is all-knowing. And usually only the viewer, or in this case the player, is all-knowing. And since the boogeyman is as well, he makes all these references and stuff. And that is why he is supposed to be silly. Apparently. And I'm quoting here. Silly. The characters, Uri says that herself. While the characters are all deadly serious, everything may come off, quote, silly. Why? I mean, apparently Uri thinks that herself. Then why? I don't understand this. If it is silly, I mean, there's maybe she thinks it's funny silly, and it's just not my humor. Maybe that's just all that is to that. But I feel like I've after I read this interview, I thought, man, basically Uri thinks the same as I do, but apparently she thinks that is entertaining, and that may be all that is to that. And also a fascinating thing she stated is that she likes Keith the most because he felt most like I forgot the word and I can't look it up right now, but something like very human or something like that, or most fleshed out. And of all the characters that were in this game, Keith was probably the biggest stereotype of them all, and that statement kind of amazed me. But yeah, so I just wanted to tell you this. I read the interview, I got more back information to that, and after that I really understand this game like even way less. The interview has a few interesting other statements though, especially to Mermaid Swamp. To Mermaid Swamp, there we go. The statements Uri had to Mermaid Swamp, that was actually interesting. I kinda would rather talk about that, because that made sense to me, even though it's not really the same thing I thought about this game. But at the same time, it's a really interesting thought and approach to a game. So, but we're at the Boogeyman. Let's not talk about Mermaid Swamp. Let's talk about the finish of the game, the final happy ending. All right, so the happy ending. Let's say it like this. At least it made sense. Keith fought a different boogeyman than everybody else saw. Keith saw stuff nobody else saw, His boogeyman was a different boogeyman than Brandon. The same as the boogeyman of Sophie was a different boogeyman than Brandon. These were their own personal boogeymen, and not like Brandon, a human. So I like that it made sense. I liked that it made sense, and as a happy ending, I even liked the idea. Now, what I personally disliked is the grave scene. I found it very, very cheesy. It was a very different. Now you may think he's hypocritical. He said he loved the crooked man, and there's the touching scene with David being at the grave of. What's this guy's face now? And he gives him the pack of smokes, And that was also kind of cheesy, but the difference is the whole game overall built up to this moment. Now I kind of let me rethink what I want to say. Okay, I collected my thoughts now. Bear with me, people. Remember, English is not my mother tongue. Sometimes I think stuff in German that makes sense, and then in English it's utterly bullshit. So I sometimes have to rethink stuff and rephrase stuff in my brain, and that's not so easy. So, the whole game of the Crooked Man built up to the final scene between David and the Duke. That's how I got it just now. It built all up for the final scene at the grave. We collected the pieces of information of Duke, and we realized the parallels between his and David's life. And in the end, when David is finally finds him and at his grave, or either the scene where he talks to the hanged dude, whatever you want, but it's not cheesy because we worked all the way for it. And then there are two tormented souls, one that has really, really sadly died, and the other that, thanks to the other person, can still go on living. And that's why he gives the poor guy that died but helped him the pack of smokes. And that is then touching. Now, in the Boogeyman, the whole thing was a bit different. We knew from the beginning that Keith had some problems, but we didn't know what kind of problems it were, that it had to do with his child. I mean, I knew it because I'm good at guessing, but of course you couldn't really know. It was just a wild guess that was apparently correct because that's how every cop story ever goes. Dead child and emotionally crippled cop. Every story ever. And then the final breakdown scene at the grave, it just seemed silly. We saw very little of the relationship of Keith and his son. It didn't feel close to me at all. Also because Keith, the stuff we saw with Keith and his son was such utterly cliche B-movie bullshit as well. Like, you can't build a connection to something like that. That seems like, I don't know, everybody could have written that, you know? You can't build an emotional connection to that. So when you finally had this breakdown, I thought, how phony. I mean, this is the way the story must go, because that's every B-movie story ever, but that's just... Why should I give a damn now? Like, Keith was so unrelatable. I mean, Keith may have psychological problems and all that stuff, but he was totally unrelatable. And then Helen was also the most cliché character. Their problems were the most cliché problems. And the father-son relationship we only got to know in the end about anyway was so little explored, and what was explored was this typical, let me see in your closet if there are any monsters. You're a brave boy, and I'm a policeman who says swear words. It's stupid. Yeah, and except for that, I basically said during the game most of my thoughts. The characters were horrible, but again, apparently it was supposed to be B-movie-like, so no wonder the characters were horrible. For the most part, at least. You couldn't identify one bit with the main character, which is one of the most important things in a game. You know, I don't even understand why you make a character so unlikable. And yeah, I mean, Keith is probably dealing with depression. David was dealing with depression. And Sophie was probably dealing with depression, or at least something like that. Still, with David was relatable, and Sophie was relatable. Sophie was a kid who had to grow up too fast. Relatable. David was a broken man because he couldn't fulfill his dream. Relatable. Keith is an asshole who's angry all the time. Not relatable. And I mean, maybe there are people who are like that and have psychological problems, and that's very bad. That's very bad. But still, they're not main characters of games. As mentioned, a lot of stuff just seemed so silly, and apparently that was the intention. Why should I have played it then? I think I already said that, but I don't get it into my brain. Everything just was so silly or cheesy, one or the other. Why? Why? The other game, especially the Crooked Man, was so good. I mean, it was cheesy to a degree, but at least you enjoyed the characters, the interacting of characters. It seemed so uninspired, you know? It seemed so uninspired. Like the Crooked Man seemed like there was the following thought. I want to tell a story, and I'll do it through this game. And this game here seemed like, I want to make a game. Now what do I do? That's what... I don't know if it was really like that. But it seems really like that. It really, really seems totally uninspired. And totally, you know, now I need to do a game. That's... and I'm really sorry. I don't want to accuse Uri for anything. I mean, you hear me. I'm going off here. I'm being angry all the time and stuff like that. But in the end of the day, this was a game I played for free. I'm not really complaining like, oh my god, this is unbelievable, a AAA title I bought for $50. But it's still, it angers me because I know that there are so much better games created by the same person. And it doesn't get into my mind how this happened. But I talk about this as if this was the worst game ever. The problem is, It wasn't by far the worst game I've ever played. Not even close. Have you ever seen Victim of Zen? You probably shouldn't watch it. Back in the day, my mic was my mic quality was ass, basically. So you shouldn't watch a playthrough of mine, but watch it anywhere on YouTube or something like that. Victim of Zen, the stupidest game I've ever played. But yeah, just saying. It's by far not the stupidest thing I've ever played, but it just felt like something a lot of time went in. And I don't understand, if you put so much time in it, why in the end it comes out like this. With the intention of being silly. It doesn't get into my mind. It doesn't. Really, it just doesn't. Alright, let's talk about a few positive things in the end. The voice actors. I like the idea, and some were better than the others. You just gotta say that. And I'm not saying it now, any names or something, I don't want to hurt anybody, but some were really better than the others. But the idea, I like the idea. But next time you do that, please make them audible compared to the sound in the game. That is the only thing I request. The puzzles, very good. Some were a bit tough, but rather too tough than too easy, I'd say. In the end, if there is a walkthrough, you can look it up in the end, so that's not the problem. The only thing I didn't like about the puzzles is there was a lot of, I don't know, you were in part A of the castle, and to progress the story you needed to go back to part B of the puzzle of the castle, and totally random, and you know that I did not like too much. But except for that, the puzzles were pretty good and challenging. I like that. The art, as always, I love the art style. The art is unique, and at the same time well looking, you know. It's not everybody's style, but it still looks good, and that is something. Uniqueness is not an easy feat, especially in a genre that has a lot of just the standard anime visuals, you know, when it comes to character sprites and stuff like that. So I'm all for the uniqueness of the art style. Yeah, but about the story, after having read the interview, as mentioned, I have absolutely no idea what to even think anymore. Maybe I got something wrong. Tell me in the comments if I'm totally stupid, and feel free to tell me. I know that I'm totally stupid. I say that more than often, and with a lot of reason. I'm really stupid. Maybe you people can explain to me what kind of sense all that made, and why I should have played this game in the first place. Alright, with that all being said, Uri also said in her interview that the next game will be more about the suspense. So I have very high hope for Uri's next game. Maybe it will be more like The Crooked Man, or totally different, a real suspense experience. I mean, The Crooked Man was suspense, but like even worse and harder and more, I don't know, more in your face, like, I'd say. We'll see. So I'm very excited for that, and I hope it's nothing like this game. This is by far the weakest game that Uri made by me, in my opinion. I loved The Crooked Man, I liked The Sandman. I'm not a fan of Paranoiac and not of the Mermaid Swamp, but after reading this interview, Mermaid Swamp got more interesting to me, I gotta say, so read that interview. But, you know, maybe... So, it's actually like I'm kinda half-half on Uri's game so far. So we'll see what the next game has to offer. And as mentioned, I'm really excited for this. And once again, just wanted to say that for the final conclusion. This is nothing personal. I appreciate the work Uri has put into this to death. I appreciate it to death. I played this game for free. And actually, especially because of that reason, because it is for free, I shouldn't complain as much as I did. I know that. The thing is, I want to save my integrity. When I think something is bad, I say it. And I try to be nice about it, But there was so many things that annoyed me in this game. I just kinda couldn't. If I went on your nerves in this playthrough, I'm not always like that. Let's put it like this. I'm often angry, but not that much. Okay. So, I think that's it. So, come back for the next episode. The next episode will be the bonus room. And, little spoilers, in the next episode I'll also tell you again that I feel so sorry for being an ass all the time. But you know, opinions and shit. So, thank you everybody for watching. Come back for the next episode, and that will be really the final episode in the bonus room. And if you enjoyed this playthrough, even though I was angry a lot of the time, come back for a different playthrough, or watch some I've done, if you feel like it. If you don't, it's okay too. Yeah, and I'll see you then. Bye bye.